Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to talk about Stranger Things Season 4, and we're going to talk about friendship. And today's a little bit of a content warning. Today's video is very personal. It's just a lot about me and something I've learned about myself. So if you're not into hearing about Scott Garibay, maybe just wait for the next video, which should be in 10 minutes. I do a lot of content. All right, so I am just absolutely overjoyed to be experiencing Dungeons and Dragons in a different way right now. Stranger Things, I watched season 1. Then when season 2 came, I watched season 1 again. And then when season 3 came, I watched season 1 and 2 again. And right now, I'm watching season 1, 2, and 3 again to get ready for season 4. And I am just blown away with the wonderful, really wonderful Dungeons and Dragons experience that Stranger Things is. It's icing on the Dungeons and Dragons cake. Stranger Things is Dungeons and Dragons to me, right? So I'm getting a huge amount of enjoyment from it, right? But as I watch it, and boy, does it stand up to rewatch, right? Because you see different layers, right? And one of the things I'm really focusing on in this rewatch of season 1, 2, and 3 is the friendship. The friendship between Dustin, between Will, Lucas, Dustin, and Mike, right? And I really kind of feel like I've learned something about myself. These 4 boys, their friendship is deeply rooted in Dungeons and Dragons. It's spiked to the ground with Dungeons and Dragons. Its foundation is Dungeons and Dragons, right? More than anything else they do, right? And I realized when I thought about it, I'm a terrible friend. I've known this for a long time, but I've been thinking about it deeply and kind of I do a lot of good things. I do a lot of things well in my life. Friendship is not one of them. I'm a horrible friend. I've just never excelled at it, right? I had 2 friends in high school. Don't talk to either one of them today. I built no lasting friendships in college, right? And then I got married, and there was probably like 10 years where I was just, I was growing a family, and I really just didn't have much time for friends. And then I returned to D&D, and I've realized this. I've realized what's happening in my life, right? And I realized something about myself. I play Dungeons and Dragons. I am more passionate about Dungeons and Dragons than any pursuit in my life beyond Christian husband and father. Those 3 things drive everything. D&D comes after them, right? But D&D is the 4th most important thing in my life, right? And I realized I am never looking for friends. And what has happened, right? I'm always looking to play and run Dungeons and Dragons, right? And where I've landed, and God bless me that I have, is I just set up a D&D game and I ran it and I attracted players, and because I would run in FLGSs and I would attract more players. And what would happen is, in the space of Dungeons and Dragons campaign, in the hours of the sessions, in the adventures, I found friends. That was never the intention. My intention was to run the best Dungeons and Dragons game I could and to enjoy the activity of running Dungeons and Dragons. And I found true, real, lasting, impacting friends in that activity. But I have to be honest with myself that I never sought a friend, right? And what haunts me, right, is when I am honest with myself, I know Dungeons and Dragons is always first over my friendships. And I think that is a deficit within me, and I think I'm a very poor friend, right? But also, I want to say this too, though, because when I say I'm a bad friend, let me define that, right? I'm a bad friend because I'm a pain in the butt to be around, right? I'm so intense and adamant about everything I believe, and I like to say I'm right, and I'm arrogant, right? But one of the things is I don't have that many friends, right? But once I name you a friend, I strive to be this kind of friend, and I have gotten not all the way to this point, but close. And I want to be that kind of friend where if they show up and they're like, hey, I'm going to be like, okay, you got the shovel in your trunk, let's go. that's to me what friendship is. Because smiling and being nice to somebody when it's easy, who gives two rats about that? I want to be the friend that's there when it's hard to be there, right? And I think I've been able to do that for the few friends that I've found through Dungeons and Dragons. But it just kind of, watching Stranger Things so closely, I realized, it just reinforced I'm a terrible friend. I wish I had these deep relationships that Will and, actually, one thing that's fascinating is they fight like dogs in this. They fight like cats and dogs in this show, right? And so one of the things, maybe the lesson is that friendships are hard, right? But I'm really haunted by this idea that, I really am horrible at being a friend to someone just because I'm a challenging person. And then I don't think I'm ever going to be able to prioritize friendships over D&D. And I don't know what that means going forward. But I also know I kind of feel it's a truth. And the only reason I'm acknowledging it is I don't think you handle a problem until you name it and identify it, right? So that's my thoughts. How do you mix Dungeons and Dragons and friendships? Because it's clear in Stranger Things that people are doing this, right? I think people are doing this. They mix, when I know it from the comments. How do you manage the two? How are you able to prioritize one over the other? And also, if you are good at being a friend to somebody, is that something that can be learned, or is it base nature? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Are you getting hyped for Stranger Things Season 4? Boy, am I hyped. Love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.